Right. So, first of all, I would like to thank you to our dearest lecturer, which is Miss Kim, that had taught us about Islamic investment, and not only Islamic investment, also many subjects, and not only in the class, also outside the class, which is encouraging us and giving advice to us about our studies, and until helping us for our preparation for the internship. Again, thank you for everything, and thank you so much. Okay, so that's all, and let's get started. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Wanifan Zaki bin Walaslan, and today I would like to explain about the definitions of INI, which is Islamic Negotiable Instruments, and the objective of INI. So the first one is, what is INI? INI stands for Islamic Negotiable Instruments, which is also can define as negotiable and legally transferable by delivery through depository institutions, and customer also can sell the INI in the secondary market before the maturity date at the prevailing market rate. So based on the definition that I've told before, INI is a sum of money that is deposited in a bank or in a financial institution and repayable to the bearer on a specified future date at a nominal value of INI plus declared dividend. It also one of the Islamic product, which means the product itself is in accordance with the method of Sharia. What is the objectives of INI? The objective of INI is to provide a uniform set of terms and conditions, limitations, procedure and practices to govern the issuance and trading of INI in Malaysia Islamic money market. And besides that, it also to ensure all of the transaction that happen is in the accordance with Sharia. So next, we move on to the characteristic of INI.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Shazni bin Halim. Okay guys, so now I want to talk about the characteristic of Islamic Negotiable Instrument, which is INIS. So firstly, it can be legally transferred through a depository institution, so that's why it is highly liquid. So okay guys, so what is depository institution here in Malaysia? Okay, so some of it is a commercial bank such as Affin Bank Berhad, Alliance Bank Malaysia Berhad, M Bank Berhad, Bangkok Bank Berhad, Bank of America Malaysia Berhad, and many more. Okay, for the characteristic number 2, it can be traded in the secondary market. Okay, now what is secondary market? Okay, in stock market terminology, the term secondary market refers to the market which securities are freely traded by all market participants. For example, for some secondary market which include the stock and bond exchange, commodities futures exchange, and the foreign exchange market. Okay, for the third characteristic of Islamic negotiable instrument, it cannot be withdrawn prematurely, but it can be sold prevailing market rate even before its maturity date.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, so I will explain about purchase and redemption. So, there are three types. Okay, so number one, outright sale and purchase. Okay, so number two, type or trade in the secondary market. Number three, sell and buyback agreement. Okay, for the outright sale and purchase, basically the ownership transfer the Islamic negotiable instrument from seller to buyer without compulsion. Okay, and issuer can request to provide quota. And for the sell buyback agreement, there are two types of agreement. Okay, so number one, agreement, the seller sell the Islamic negotiable instrument and the investor buy it. Okay, so second agreement, the investor promise to sell back the Islamic negotiable instrument to the original owner on a specific price and date. We go to the requirement, okay, which is number one, approval. So basically the banking institution required to obtain Bank Negara Malaysia approval on a few application, which are application to be an issuer of Islamic negotiable instrument, application to be an authorized depository, and application to increase or to maintain an Islamic negotiable instrument issue limits. So to get approval from Bank Negara Malaysia, the banking instrument should follow some application which I said a moment ago. Okay, so that the agreement can be reached between the two parties. Okay, so we go next, precondition. The bank and the customer shall fulfill the few conditions prior to entering into an Islamic negotiable instrument. Transaction which are the bank asset for only the sale and purchase, cash for the Islamic negotiable instrument deposit, and the parties agree to sell or purchase of asset, and profit sharing ratio. Second, the asset must define as any permissible by Sharia. So totally the condition must be fair between the two parties. Okay, the last important requirement is only the Islamic bank and scheme perbankan Islamic bank like lembaga tabung haji. Okay, however, only a few branch are allowed to issue Islamic negotiable instrument and need reporting mechanisms to monitor the issuance. Next, the authorized depository also must have a licensed institution who approved by Bank Negara Malaysia, and also must an Islamic or scheme perbankan Islamic bank and member of rentas, and also allowed to act like its own Islamic negotiable instrument. The risk of Islamic negotiable instruments based funding negotiable instrument will face the same risk but different in the interest rate, credit weight risk of asset, and at the same time the market weight risk.
Alright guys, so don't forget to hit the like button and thank you for watching.
And also don't forget to share our video.
Terima kasih kepada yang menonton. Terima kasih Daun Keladi. Ada masa kita jumpa lagi. Jangan lupa subscribe. Subscribe tu gratis guys.